The humid air hung thick and heavy over the sprawling suburban lawns of Maplewood, Ohio, a town known for its pristine streets and the comforting predictability of life. Maplewood, nestled comfortably in a region of gentle rolling hills and mature oak trees, was the quintessential American suburb. Streets lined with manicured hedges and blooming flower beds created an almost painterly scene, a place where children played freely in the twilight and neighbors waved from their porches. On a crisp autumn morning, however, a shadow fell across this tranquility, a darkness that would unravel the carefully constructed realities of its residents and expose the hidden vulnerabilities beneath the veneer of normalcy. It began with a single, unsettling phrase, a phrase that would become etched in the annals of local history: crime scene assessment. This chilling declaration, devoid of context, yet filled with an unspoken dread, would be the starting point of a mystery that would consume the lives of many, a mystery born not of grand criminal masterminds or violent gang warfare, but of the ordinary, everyday lives of the people we thought we knew. We begin with the imagined backdrop of Maplewood. We'll call our victim Sarah Jenkins. Sarah was a vibrant woman, a dedicated elementary school teacher at Maplewood Elementary, known for her patient demeanor and her knack for igniting a love of learning in her young charges. Her classroom, always filled with colorful artwork and the scent of well-loved books, was a haven of curiosity. She was a devoted mother to her two children, 8-year-old Emily, a budding artist with a penchant for vibrant watercolors, and 6-year-old Thomas, whose boisterous laughter often echoed through their tidy home on Elm Street, a quiet lane lined with weeping willows. Sarah was also a loving wife to her husband, Mark, an accountant at Sterling and Black, whose quiet reliability formed the bedrock of their shared life. He was the steady hand, the dependable presence, always there to share a quiet dinner and recap the day. She was the cornerstone of her family, a beacon of warmth and stability in a world that often felt chaotic. Her life was a carefully orchestrated dance of schedules, responsibilities, and quiet joys, a testament to the strength and resilience of the human spirit. Her friends knew her for her infectious laugh, her unwavering optimism, and her uncanny ability to find beauty in the mundane. She coached Emily's under-10 soccer team with boundless enthusiasm, her cheers echoing across the meticulously maintained fields of Willow Creek Park, a verdant expanse dotted with ancient, sprawling oaks, their branches forming a canopy of emerald. She baked cookies for her neighbors during the holidays, her kitchen always filled with the sweet aroma of cinnamon and sugar, a scent that embodied the very essence of domestic comfort. Her life was a perfectly calibrated cycle of love, sacrifice, and the quiet contentment of a life well lived. Then, one Tuesday, it all crumbled. Mark Jenkins returned home from his late shift at Sterling and Black, a local accounting firm where he'd worked for 15 years, to find the house eerily silent. The children's usual after-school chatter, a symphony of scraped knees and excited storytelling, was absent, replaced by an unnerving stillness that settled like dust. Dinner, a rich lasagna Sarah had prepared earlier that day, remained untouched on the stove, its savory aroma now tinged with an unsettling stillness, a stark contrast to the usual warmth of their family meals. Sarah's sensible silver sedan was gone from the driveway, an empty space that screamed of her absence. Panic, cold and sharp, clawed at his throat. He called her phone, his fingers fumbling with the familiar numbers. Straight to voicemail. Each unanswered call amplified the fear that was rapidly consuming him, a suffocating tide pulling him under. He rushed around the house, a desperate search for any clue, any sign that would allay the growing terror. Investigators, their faces grim, meticulously examined every inch of the immaculately kept home. Their initial sweep was a methodical process of photography and evidence collection, noting the undisturbed order that only amplified the sense of dread. Forensics teams dusted for prints with painstaking precision, their quiet movements a stark contrast to the internal turmoil unfolding within Mark. There were no signs of forced entry, no overturned furniture, no indications of a struggle. Everything seemed untouched, except for the gaping hole that had been torn into the fabric of their family, a void where warmth and laughter used to reside. The case slowly gained traction as the Maplewood community, a town known for its protective sense of itself, its interconnectedness where everyone knew everyone else's business. The image of Sarah, with her kind eyes and ever-present smile, a familiar face at school functions and local fundraisers, was shattered by the unsettling reality of her disappearance. Volunteers organized search parties, their faces etched with a mixture of hope and despair as they combed through the surrounding woods. The dense foliage of Harmony Creek Park, a sprawling nature preserve known for its winding trails and tranquil ponds that mirrored the troubled sky, and the quiet cul-de-sacs that dotted the suburban landscape, the rustling leaves seeming to whisper secrets. The local news channels, KFHL and WMAP, broadcast daily updates, transforming Sarah's disappearance from a personal tragedy into a grim reality that loomed over the town. The Maplewood Chronicle featured a poignant photo of her on the front page, her face a haunting reminder of the joy they all knew, now displaced by a desperate plea for her return. The community rallied around Mark and the children, offering casseroles, childcare, and comfort, but beneath the surface of their compassion, a current of fear had begun to flow, a gnawing suspicion that the darkness could touch any one of them. Everyone knew everyone else. Everyone was now suspect. Investigators meticulously canvassed the neighborhood, door-to-door inquiries becoming a grim ritual, each unreturned glance and hushed conversation fueling the growing unease as trust began to erode, casting a long, dark shadow over the once idyllic streets. The true killer, a man named David, emerged from the shadows of Sarah's secret life. David was a married co-worker of Sarah's from the accounting firm, a man whose affable demeanor masked a possessive and volatile nature. His colleagues at Sterling and Black saw him as a quiet, if somewhat intense, individual, unaware of the tempest brewing beneath. Their affair, conducted in hushed tones and clandestine meetings at a nondescript motel on the outskirts of town, a place deliberately chosen for its anonymity and the anonymity it promised, had been kept meticulously secret. David, consumed by a potent cocktail of jealousy and possessiveness, had reportedly discovered Sarah's attempts to end their relationship, her desire for normalcy clashing with his insatiable need for control. In a fit of uncontrollable rage, he had confronted her at her home on that fateful Tuesday evening, the ensuing argument escalating to a violent confrontation within the confines of her once sacred sanctuary, the very heart of her family's life. The discovery of the murder weapon, a heavy brass candlestick from Sarah's own mantelpiece, a decorative item that had witnessed countless family moments, found stashed in David's garage alongside a hastily scrawled, guilt-ridden note admitting his actions, sealed his fate. He was arrested without incident, the stark reality of his crime finally catching up to him. After a lengthy and emotionally charged trial, presided over by Judge Eleanor Vance, a jurist known for her unwavering commitment to justice and her sharp, incisive questioning, he was convicted of murder and sentenced to life in prison, his life reduced to the confines of a cell, a constant, stark reminder of the vibrant life he had so brutally extinguished. The impact of Sarah's murder resonated throughout Maplewood like a seismic shockwave. The case brought to light the hidden darkness that can lurk beneath the seemingly impenetrable facade of suburban perfection, exposing the vulnerability of even the most idyllic communities. It left a profound sense of loss and a lingering, pervasive fear, a chilling realization that no one could be truly known, that smiles could mask the deepest of depravities. The community struggled to come to terms with the betrayal, the shattered illusions of safety and trust, and the profound, unfillable sense of loss. The children, Emily and Thomas, forever marked by the tragedy, would live with the indelible pain of their mother's absence, their childhoods irrevocably shadowed by the events of that autumn day. The case serves as a grim, unforgettable reminder that even in the safest of places, evil can find a way, that the most ordinary lives can be touched by the most extraordinary darkness. The anonymous Reddit post, a cryptic message of crime scene assessment, now held a tragic, almost prophetic weight. It had been a seemingly innocuous post on a local forum, a random thought from someone unaware of the impending horror, posted weeks before Sarah's disappearance, dismissed by most as a morbid curiosity or a misunderstanding of police terminology. It served as a chilling prelude to the unfolding tragedy, a seemingly accidental glimpse into a world of secrets, lies, and violence that had remained hidden beneath. It had predicted the unknown, even if by complete accident, and in doing so, it cemented itself as a chilling reminder of the fragility of life and the unexpected ways that truth can surface. The phrase crime scene assessment had found its meaning in a world of unimaginable grief, a stark testament to the reality that lay beneath the polished surface of Maplewood. It was a phrase that had become synonymous with heartbreak, loss, and the enduring, often agonizing, quest for justice, a phrase that will forever echo in the quiet, tree-lined streets of Maplewood, a somber reminder of the darkness that once briefly and devastatingly descended.